He's smiling as he says this.
It's still completely unfair to not have looked at the laptop in a timely way and to have shut down the New York Post's Twitter account like that. That's just a conspiracy. That's a left-wing conspiracy to deny the presidency to Donald Trump. Absolutely, it was. Absolutely, right? But I think it was warranted, right?
Sam Harris openly, in the year 2025, endorses overt left-wing corruption, purposeful and overt left-wing corruption and conspiracy to deny the public the ability to elect the person that they want to because he believes himself to be superior. This kind of radical intransience, even after having the entire nation rebuke you, I think goes to the heart of what it means to always have represented Sam Harris's positions. A kind of fake and counterfeit intellectual sophistication built on a lie, but the lie was of moral superiority. And now that that facade has fallen, I realize just how seriously broken and reprehensible Sam Harris's positions always were, and inevitably the mental positions of everyone else who agrees with Sam Harris. The years have seemed to have proven Jordan Peterson right to such an extent that none of us could have imagined it. Sam Harris still trying to come off as morally superior as he says any lie, any conspiracy, any immorality was justified, would have been justified in preventing Trump from reaching office while he says this while he wouldn't have cared if the Biden family had done any number of heinous things, and he says this with an eerie expression on his face as if he expects everyone to still view him as morally superior. This was a man I once looked up to.
It is infinitesimal compared to the corruption we know Trump is involved with. I mean, Hunter Biden, at that point, Hunter Biden literally could have had the corpses of children in his basement. I would not have cared. Right?
What's going on? What's going on here? Is this the same man who debated Jordan Peterson for 10 hours plus on the nature of objective morality? I'm gonna play that again.
I mean, Hunter Biden, at that point, Hunter Biden literally could have had the corpses of children in his basement. I would not have cared. Right? It's like there's nothing.
I want you guys to understand that Sam Harris isn't a guy like people you see on TikTok who just say anything without thinking about what they mean. This man in 2018 had a 10-hour plus long abstract intellectual conversation with Jordan Peterson at a level that experts said was greater than a PhD dissertation. And these were still words he just chose to say, meaning that he believes what he just said. That's not all. I'm going to play the rest.
I mean, like, there's just, it doesn't even stack up against Trump University, right? Trump University as a story is worse than anything that could be in Hunter Biden's laptop, in my view. Right?
Actually, it's not. A failed business, a failed university is nothing compared to pedophilia. Nothing compared to sleeping with your dead brother's daughter.
Now, that doesn't answer the people who say it's still completely unfair to not.
This is the part that sent shivers down my spine because he's smiling as he says this.
It's still completely unfair to not have looked at the laptop in a timely way and to have shut down the New York Post's Twitter account like that. That's just a conspiracy. That's a left-wing conspiracy to deny the presidency to Donald Trump. Absolutely, it was. Absolutely, right? But I think it was warranted, right?
So,
and again, it's a coin toss as to whether or not
Sam, I'm sorry.
These two guys are liberals, as you know, you can obviously tell, but they challenge him on that.
Pieces,
I'm really sorry. I was the one that said we should move on, but you've just
said
something I really struggle with there, which is
you support the kids in the basement.
And he laughs as if that's a fine thing to say.
The kids in the basement. I'm interested in democracy. You're saying you are content with a left-wing conspiracy to prevent somebody being democratically re-elected as president.
Well, no, I'm content. Well, but the thing is, it's just not left-wing, right? So Liz Cheney is not left-wing, right?
So he goes on to just completely obfuscate, but he was correctly rebuked there. Sam Harris openly, in the year 2025, endorses overt left-wing corruption, purposeful and overt left-wing corruption and conspiracy to deny the public the ability to elect the person that they want to because he believes himself to be superior. And he delivers this message with an air of superiority, as if any person that would question this objectively, openly heinous, intellectually broken position would be worse than him. It's clear who won between Jordan Peterson and Sam Harris. It just took years to see the total results. It's hard to believe this is the same man who debated the nature of intrinsic morality with Jordan Peterson for 8 hours back in 2018. But maybe this is just the fate of all atheists who would defend the position which he defended back then, which is that people can be arbiters of right and wrong and there is no intrinsic higher moral hierarchy. Maybe this is the inevitable outcome.
Absolutely, it was. Absolutely. Right. But I think it was warranted. Right. And
you guys notice how he says the word right after every single sentence, as if he's trying to convince those who are listening to him that it's somehow perversely okay to find refuge in this heinous, mentally broken, morally bankrupt position that is almost more intellectually bankrupt than it is morally bankrupt, although it's pretty much a coin toss. This is the end result of saying there is no higher moral authority. Total wretched depravity. Meanwhile, Jordan Peterson, since that conversation they had, has gone on to rise to extraordinary intellectual heights, having conversations with the smartest men alive, philosophizing to the nth degree, writing more books, investigating the origins of objective moral structures to a depth that has never been seen before with the greatest experts alive, and even starting his own school to replace colleges and teach people actually how to think. The reason the fruits of moral relativism, nihilism, and Buddhism, which all promote these philosophies you're hearing from Sam Harris, are so rotten is because they are in fact worthless, empty, soulless doctrines which possess no merit. By their fruits you shall know them.
to not have looked at the laptop in a timely way and to have shut down the New York Post's Twitter account, like that's just a conspiracy. That's a left-wing conspiracy to deny the presidency to Donald Trump. Absolutely, it was. Absolutely, right? But I think it was warranted. Right? I mean, Hunter Biden, at that point, Hunter Biden literally could have had the corpses of children in his basement. I would not have cared.
By their fruits you shall know them. Sam Harris clearly needs Christ. He clearly needs God. He should have listened to Jordan Peterson more carefully in their 4-part debate. But I see now that he was never actually engaging with anything, Jordan Peterson said, because he didn't believe in intellectual honesty to begin with. He didn't believe in morality. He didn't believe that there existed a good, because no person that believes there can be a good says things like this. Sam Harris is a broken man, and whether or not he was always broken is not known, but I do know that weak people end up going to Buddhism. Weak people end up embracing ideologies which tell them there's no such thing as right and wrong. Therefore, you can be abdicated of the responsibility to engage with the world. I have a lot of experience with Buddhist philosophy because I've seen it in my family. And it's a horrible thing when things are falling to pieces around you and the person that should be responsible for fixing everything believes they can close their eyes and sit on a mat and escape. It's the most cowardly thing imaginable. It's the most wretched, broken thing a person can do. And Buddhism preys on weak people, destroyed people. Very happy to see that Elon Musk has repeatedly called out, not just called out, scolded and rebuked Sam Harris. He says, is TDS, Trump derangement syndrome, curable, or does the brain turn to irreparable melted goo? Retweeting the video that I just showed you. This era of fake superiority, while fleeing from moral objectivism, doesn't end there. Sam Harris is outraged that a more competent, intelligent man, being Elon Musk, refuses to agree with him. Check this out.
A Pizzagate lunatic, like literally one of the people who gave us.
Imagine talking about Pizzagate in 2025 to try to debunk the right. I mean, how disconnected from the populace can you get?
Pizzagate. I'm not going to name them because they would be happy to be named in this context,
Right.
but give us that are people who are in very good standing with Elon, who Elon will talk to them in Twitter Spaces and
Right.
give them the mic.
How dare Elon Musk talk to the people that I call bad? How dare this other man? It's crazy. I mean, Elon Musk isn't even in your family, right? He's not a friend of yours. You openly demonize him on this podcast and others. And you're upset at him for talking with people that you call bad people. How narcissistic can you get? This is what the left does. I see maybe this is what Jordan Peterson was talking about when he says the intellect can start to worship itself, because this type of narcissism, after the left has been so utterly decimated and refuted in a historical fashion and margin, it's crazy.
And boost them and just
Right.
high five them, and he knows, I've pointed out how crazy these people are to him.
And he knows that I say these people are crazy. I think we can see who's crazy.
These people will send him a clip from my podcast or some other podcast, maybe this podcast, maybe we'll do it here, right? Making it seem
Maybe they'll hold me accountable here too. Ha ha ha. I'm beyond accountability. Ha ha ha. How dare they clip my opinions and analyze them? I consider myself to be better than them because I'm a Buddhist.
he doesn't have time to listen to the podcast, obviously, so he'll just react to the clip saying, Sam Harris is a total moron, right? It was something like that.
Sam Harris is a total moron, but also an evil, malevolent moron, destroyed by the perverse lie of the left, saying that you can have resentment for that which is inherently good, that which is intrinsically coherent and virtuous, which of course stems out to the mechanisms of the West that allowed this all to develop, like democracy. He literally said he's fine with subverting democracy. What a public fall from grace.
But amplify this to millions of people. And I will email him and say, Elon, you are being gamed by right-wing trolls who gave
And I'll email Elon Musk. And he won't agree with me.
us Pizzagate. This is not what I said in context, right? And he will tell me to go fuck myself. And he knows. So he knows.
Bro, Elon Musk, dude, you're a hero for that. You're a hero. My gosh. I don't want to show you anymore because it's really just... It's sad. It's very sad. It's one of the cringest things a person can witness, to see somebody who thinks they're better than others while being openly incompetent. It's cringe. It's not just sad or freakish. It's like, I can't watch that. Like this air of superiority that Sam Harris has carried with him since he debated the actor who played Batman on Bill Maher is somehow still here as he advocates for the ending of democracy because his group of people are better. In 2025, the left breaks humans. It destroys them. Elon Musk, I'll end the video here. Elon Musk says Sam Harris is a mentally ill clown. And then the next day, he did this. I think that's a fine way to end this. Once again, competent, coherent, just masculinity and truth are all that you need to expose, trash, humiliate, and destroy morally vacuous left-wing psychopaths.